So guys, it is no longer news that the UK, which is the United Kingdom, have scrapped the deal they had with Rwanda to send migrants to their country for asylum processing. Now remember that since last year and thereabout, and even earlier this year, or even months before the election, Rishi Sunak, which was the former UK Prime Minister, was on a deal that he has had with the Rwandan government in sending migrants to their country. Okay, sending migrants, that is to discourage people who are always plying the France route through the English Channel to enter England. They say that they don't want that. So what they wanted to do was to send people to Rwanda, and if they have succeeded, that would discourage other people from making the same journey. But when this new government took, what do you call it, Keir Starmer, which is the man in charge now, the prime minister, he said that he's no longer going to continue with that deal, okay? Previous conservative government policy was never a deterrent. New PM says, calling it dead and buried. So he said that this one, his government is not prepared to continue with that deal. So I don't know how many times they even had a deportation to that very Rwanda. I think it was once, if I'm not mistaken. So now, what happens to those people whom they have taken to Rwanda already? Are they going to bring them back, or they are going to leave them there? Now, British Prime Minister, what do you call him? Minister Keir Starmer has said he will not continue with the previous conservative government policy to deport asylum seekers to Rwanda, in a move welcomed by rights advocates as long overdue. The Rwanda scheme was dead and buried before it started. It's never been a deterrent, Starmer told his first news conference on Saturday after his Labour Party won a landslide in the general election. Now, I'm not prepared to continue with gimmicks that don't act as deterrent, he told reporters after a cabinet meeting, describing the plan as a problem that we are inheriting. Okay? Now, Parliament approved the contentious law in April declaring Rwanda a safe third country, which bypassed an earlier UK Supreme Court ruling that said the scheme was unlawful on human rights grounds. So they have been on go and don't go issue, which made it impossible for Rishi Sunak to have succeeded in sending migrants to Rwanda the way he wanted. So it was this forth and back that hindered that very easy deportation to Rwanda. Assuming there were no challenges, by now maybe up to 5-6 flights would have gone to Rwanda before he left office. Now, the authorities started detaining asylum seekers in May. That's when they started detaining asylum seekers whom they wanted to deport to, to Rwanda. They started in May. Then Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who promised to stop migrants and asylum seekers arriving on small boats from mainland Europe, which is through France there, had pushed for the policy. Now, on July 8, Rwanda said it has taken note of the intention of the UK government to terminate the Migration and Economic Development Partnership Agreement, calling it a problem of the UK and not Rwanda. Rwanda has fully upheld each side of the agreement, including with regard to finances, and remains committed to finding solutions to the global migration crisis, including providing safety, dignity and opportunity to refugees and migrants who come to their country. That was his statement concerning this particular deal that they had. Right activists and critics of Sunak's government had slammed the plan to deport people to Rwanda rather than handle asylum claims at home as inhumane. They say that it's not good to deport these people to Rwanda. They should process the asylum in UK there. But what I don't understand is the reason why they cannot process asylum there. If you process, instead of wasting such billions, do you know how many billions of pounds they spent in Rwanda? building houses, buying land, clearing places. So who will pay for this? How do they recover their money now? That's something I don't know. So I don't know, in fact. They had raised concerns about the East African country's own human rights record and said asylum seekers faced the risk of being sent back to countries where they would be in danger. But when faced with the opposition in parliament, Sunak said in April, no ifs, no buts, these flights are going to Rwanda. Tens of thousands of asylum seekers, many fleeing wars and poverty in Africa, the Middle East and Asia, have reached Britain in recent years by crossing the English Channel in small boats on risky journeys organized by people smuggling gangs. During his Saturday news conference, Starmer said the Rwanda scheme was widely expected to fail, which has happened now. So the Rwandan deal has failed. There's no two ways about it, especially now that a new government has said that it is dead on arrival, that he's not going to implement anything that has to do with that deportation. So I think migrants should be happy and celebrate about it now. So what you need to do, I believe they are going to free those whom they have arrested already, and then start processing the asylum in UK there. But when this man was leaving, you know, let me show you. This was his last statement.
Good morning. I will shortly be seeing His Majesty the King to offer my resignation as Prime Minister. To the country, I would like to say first and foremost, I am sorry. I have given this job my all, but you have sent a clear signal that the government of the United Kingdom must change, and yours is the only judgment that matters. I have heard your anger, your disappointment, and I take responsibility for this loss. To all the Conservative candidates and campaigners who worked tirelessly but without success, I am sorry that we could not deliver what your efforts deserved. It pains me to think how many good colleagues who contributed so much to their communities and our country will now no longer sit in the House of Commons. I thank them for their hard work and their service. Following this result, I will step down as party leader, not immediately, but once the formal arrangements for selecting my successor are in place. It is important that after 14 years in government, the Conservative Party rebuilds, but also that it takes up its crucial role in opposition professionally and effectively. When I first stood here as your Prime Minister, I told you the most important task I had was to return stability to our economy. Inflation is back to target, mortgage rates are falling, and growth has returned. We have enhanced our standing in the world, rebuilding relations with allies, leading global efforts to support Ukraine, and becoming the home of a new generation of transformative technologies. And our United Kingdom is stronger too, with the Windsor Framework, devolution restored in Northern Ireland, and our union strengthened. I'm proud of those achievements. I believe this country is safer, stronger, and more secure than it was 20 months ago. And it is more prosperous, fairer, and resilient than it was in 2010. Whilst he has been my political opponent, Sir Keir Starmer will shortly become our Prime Minister. In this job, his successes will be all our successors, and I wish him and his family well. Whatever our disagreements in this campaign, he is a decent, public-spirited man who I respect. He and his family deserve the very best of our understanding as they make the huge transition to their new lives behind this door, and as he grapples with this most demanding of jobs in an increasingly unstable world. I'd like to thank my colleagues, my cabinet, the civil service, especially here in Downing Street, the team at Chequers, my staff, CCHQ, but most of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to my wife Akshata and our beautiful daughters. I can never thank them enough for the sacrifices they have made so that I might serve our country. One of the most remarkable things about Britain is just how unremarkable it is that 2 generations after my grandparents came here with little, I could become Prime Minister, and that I could watch my 2 young daughters light Diwali candles on the steps in Downing Street. we must hold true to that idea of who we are. That vision of kindness, decency, and tolerance that has always been the British way. This is a difficult day, at the end of a number of difficult days. But I leave this job honoured to have been your Prime Minister. This is the best country in the world, and it is thanks entirely to you, the British people, the true source of all our achievements, our strengths, and our greatness. Thank you.
All right, guys. So that's Rishi Sunak's statement before he left office. Okay, before he left office. And now, I think migrants are going to flood their country because of the cancellation. Let me know what you guys think about. So this was the man when he was leaving. Very simple, you know, no complications, unlike some countries. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know, living with the wife has an umbrella, you know, just walk into the car and you get out. But in Nigeria now, we don't go see road. Maybe if it were to be in Nigeria, they will be in court. There will be court cases waiting for, I win you, you win me, you. Because there is no transparency. That's why those things happens. When you go to court, you know that there was mago. But now, he knows. He has stepped down peacefully, without issues, without stressing anybody. Nobody is telling you that this or that, you know, those kind of stuff. So, it's very, very easy moment. Rishi Sunak lives Downing Street for the last time as Prime Minister. See, very simple and easy walk home. No stress. No wahala. He's not waiting for any court case. See, no court cases. So that's the difference between Europeans and Africans. If it were to be Africans now, hey.
Morning. Could I start by thanking the returning officer and all the team who've been working here at the count and at the polling stations today? You make our democracy possible. I'd also like to thank the police who have ensured that we can conduct this ballot here in North Yorkshire, but also across the country in safety. On this difficult night, I'd like to express my gratitude to the people of the Richmond and Northallerton constituency for your continued support. Since I moved here a decade ago, you have made me and my family feel so at home, and I look forward to continuing to serve as your Member of Parliament. It is...
All right, guys. So let me know what you people think. Will this scrapping of the Rwandan deportation make a boost to migrant arrivals in UK? Please share this video. God bless you. See you on the next.